The sun was barely rising over the small town of Maple Ridge, a peaceful farming community tucked between golden fields and rolling green hills. The morning air smelled of dew and hay, and the distant hum of the tractors echoed like a lullaby. Among the many farms, one stood out for its quiet beauty: the Carter farm. It was home to two sisters, Emma and Ella Carter. They were identical twins, but that's where the similarities ended. Emma, the younger by 5 minutes, was soft-spoken, gentle, and preferred to stay behind helping their father with animals and crops. Ella, on the other hand, had left the farm years ago and no one knew where. Rumors spread that she joined the military. Some said she went overseas. Others whispered she vanished without a trace. Their father never talked about it. The silence about Ella hung in the air like a ghost nobody dared disturb. That morning, Emma was in the barn stacking hay when a black pickup truck rolled down the gravel road. Its tires screeched to a stop, sending a cloud of dust into the air. Out stepped three men, local troublemakers known around town: Travis, Dean, and Cole. They were the kind of men who thought they owned the world just because they carried knives and bad tempers. They'd been drinking since morning, their eyes wild with arrogance. "Hey sweetheart," Travis called out, leaning on the truck's door with a grin that made Emma's stomach turn. "Didn't know this place had such pretty help." Emma froze, brushing the dirt off her jeans. "I'm not help," she said softly. "This is my family's farm. You need something?" Her voice trembled but steady enough to show she wasn't scared. "Not yet." Dean laughed, tossing a rock at the ground near her boots. "Relax, girl. We're just looking for some fun. Heard there's a Carter girl who lives out here. You must be her." He smirked, eyes gleaming. "Your sister used to hang with the wrong crowd too, didn't she?" At the mention of her sister, Emma stiffened. "You should go," she said, backing toward the barn door. "Now." But they didn't. Travis whistled, walking closer. "Come on, don't be like that. We ain't gonna hurt ye unless you make us." He reached for her arm, but Emma yanked away, eyes wide. "I said go," she shouted, surprising even herself. For a moment, silence filled the air. Then Cole laughed. "Feisty, I like that." Before Emma could react, they grabbed her wrist. She screamed, but the sound vanished into the empty fields. Her father was in town for supplies. No one would hear her. She tried to kick, but they were stronger. They dragged her toward the truck, taunting her, calling her names. In the chaos, her old phone slipped from her pocket, landing in the dirt. The cracked screen flickered for a second before dying. Miles away, a woman sat in a quiet motel room, cleaning her combat knife. She had sharp eyes, short brown hair, and a presence that made silence feel dangerous. Her phone buzzed, a motion alert from the old security cameras she'd installed at the farm years ago. She froze when she saw the footage. Emma, her twin, being dragged into a truck by three men. Her hands trembled, but her face stayed calm. Slowly, she reached for her gear bag under the bed. Inside were old military tags: a Captain Ella Carter, U.S. Army, a Delta Force. For the first time in years, she was going home. Back at the farm, the men had tied Emma to a chair inside the barn, laughing as they tossed beer cans and threatened her. "So where is your sister?" "Huh?" Travis sneered, circling her like a vulture. "People say she's some kind of soldier, but we think that's just small town talk." Emma's face was paled, tears streaking through the dirt on her cheeks. "You've got the wrong girl," she whispered. "Please just go." Cole grabbed her chin roughly. "Wrong girl. You both look the same. Maybe we'll send a message to your sister. Show her what happens when she hides." He smirked. "Bet she won't be so tough when she sees you cry." But just as he turned, the barn lights flickered. A gust of wind slammed the door open. The men looked around, confused. "What do you question mark?" Travis muttered. The air suddenly felt colder. A shadow moved past the windows, silent, swift, precise. Cole reached for his gun. "Who's there?" No answer, only the sound of boots stepping on gravel outside. Then, in one clean motion, the door burst open. A woman stepped in, dressed in black tactical gear, a scar cutting across her cheek. Her eyes locked onto Emma's, and for a moment, the world froze. "Ella," Emma whispered. Travis laughed nervously. "Oh, great. The other twin's here. You gonna cry too?" Ella didn't respond. She moved forward silently, her steps controlled. "You have exactly 3 seconds to untie her," she said calmly. Her voice was steady, deadly. Dean sneered. "And if we don't?" She smiled faintly. "Then you'll find out why Delta Force doesn't negotiate." They laughed again until the first one fell. In less than a second, Ella disarmed Dean, twisting his wrist until he screamed. She kicked Travis square inches the chest, sending him crashing into the wall. Cole tried to pull his gun, but before he could aim, she'd already closed the distance. A sharp elbow to the jaw, followed by a sweep that dropped him flat. The entire fight lasted under 12 seconds. Emma stared in disbelief as Ella untied her. "Yeah, you came back," Emma said, voice breaking. Ella gave a small smile. "You didn't think I'd let anyone touch my sister, did you?" She turned toward the men, now groaning on the floor. "You picked the wrong twin," she said coldly. Police sirens echoed in the distance. Ella had already called them on her way. She looked at Emma, brushing dirt from her face. "It's over now. You're safe." But as the sirens grew louder, Ella's expression hardened again. "No," she whispered, "it's not over. These men work for someone and they thought you were me." She glanced at the truck, where a tattoo on the dashboard caught her eye, a black serpent. Her blood ran cold. "They're back," she said under her breath. "The same people I thought I buried years ago." Emma looked confused. "What do you mean?" Ella didn't answer. She walked out into the field, the wind tugging at her jacket. "It means," she said quietly, "the war just followed me home." The camera would fade on her shadow against the setting sun, a calm but dangerous, her figure outlined in gold. And then the screen would cut to black with the words,